Another episode of the Great Talk podcast. And you know how we do it here. It's all about the business of creativity, where we bring you guests from different sphere of the creative industry, from talent manager to lawyers to business entrepreneur to creative entrepreneurs and, whatever. That even tech founders, we bring you guys so you guys can actually see the industry from their perspective, from their eyes, and see how they've been able to work themselves from wherever they started from to where they are today. It's all about sharing tips, and understanding how the industry works. And today, you can see I took a pause. Our guest today is someone that I hold really, really dear. It's someone that when I need to rant, I'll just call him, and he has never for once not picked my call. And even if he's not going to be able to answer, he's going to say, "Hey, I'll call you back shortly," and he will call me back. And then he will listen to me, and then he will listen to me, and then he will ask me questions, and then it's always great having to talk with this person. This person is an industry OG, even though he doesn't like to put himself as an industry OG. Well, listing A&R in this country, Nigeria, if you skip his name, you don't know your onion. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you guys today my very good friend, my boss, the one that has done it and still doing it. They call him the Angry Mob. Mr. Agwu Obinna.
Deji, thank you
Nice
so
to
much,
meet you,
man.
boss. Thank you so much for coming.
That was such a great introduction. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Like, bro, I know we talk over the phone. I know when we meet at events we talk, but this kind setup, we never really get.
And thank you for doing this, man, because we cannot have enough of this. So.
Are you talking about podcast or this type of podcast?
Podcast and just general knowledge sharing, because it might seem intangible, but it's one of those things that really helps the industry to grow and for continuity to exist. So
thank you so
well
much.
Done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. First question I will throw at you.
Yeah.
I feel like I know you too much. Who is Agwu Obinna?
Man, first of all, I am somebody who is very passionate about music and passionate about the music business. I know it has gotten more flashy and, financially rewarding, and it makes sense for people to run where stuff like that is happening. But I like to think I'm one of the many other people who are here because they really love it, and they care about growing it and helping young executives and just, pushing the culture forward. So I'm passionate about the business. I love it. I'm thankful to be here, to be able to exist within this industry at a time like this with brilliant minds like you and so many other people. So.
Oh, stop.
Well, it's true though.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. You said something about flashy.
Yeah.
Like, being who you are has become like a flashy thing. Are you talking about you as a talent manager or as an A&R?
No. I'm talking about the industry. I mean, human beings are hustlers. When they see that something is beginning to bring a lot of money, people run in. And the downside of that is that a lot of people don't really care, but they just see that, man,
there's money here.
People make money off of this thing, so we have to get it. So that was mostly, what I was talking about. It's enticing. Why wouldn't you want to be in the business today?
Right. True. I hear that. What was your? Can you walk us through your journey, like how you maybe found music or music found you, and why you have decided, or why you decided, maybe you decided, or maybe life just threw it at you, to play the role that you play, or you've played and you're still playing. Just walk us through from like backwards, take us to this day.
First of all, I think the quality of music our parents play when we're kids is usually very overlooked. But I find that in some way it shapes you and helps you to, find yourself in some way. So I find that I've always been around great music. And though my father was a businessman, he really liked music. And just when he's enjoying himself and playing his Sonny Ade and of course the Osadebe and Sonny Okosun and of course the Western guys as well. You're just soaking it up,
everything in like sponge,
yeah. And then even gospel, man. Ron Kenoly, Don Moy, Lifted, all that stuff, because the church people make amazing music.
Actually.
So I grew up just taking in everything from the secular to the gospel to all of that. And I for the longest time, I found that I've really, really loved music. But I always also knew that I didn't want to be on stage.
Okay.
But I knew that I wanted to work with artists and work around music. And in those early years, I didn't know what an artist manager is or an A&R or whoever. But I just figured for these people to be able to do what they do, it's got to be somebody or a group of people who help to, kind of facilitate this. And so as soon as I got unlimited internet access, I just started to read about everything and even started to download contracts. And man, the Nigerian industry has really grown because I used to read a lot of things and feel like, wow, but I'm here in Lagos, man. What I'm reading is about Nashville, it's about LA, it's about, it's music knowledge, but it's not really relevant.
It's not relevant
to my space. And even when I would download those contracts and try to look at everything, there's just nothing African or Nigerian about it. But now we have evolved and we have come into our own, and now we have our own, way of doing things, our own peculiar kind of documents and tales and all of that. So I really just threw myself into it and started to study. But my first
rodeo. Like your first rodeo, like
yes, in management was with MI.
Woof!
Yes, it was
I love MI.
Yeah, and it was just
MI. Sorry to cut. MI. I never used to be a fan of rap music, but the moment MI was introduced to the scene, bro, I could sing Anoti from top to bottom, bro. Like in school, when we have like extracurricular stuff, they would throw me in front of the class. You're giving us. I would sing from MI to start. I was rap. So MI made me love rap.
It's interesting when someone like you talks about one of those old songs, but the way I remember those songs are different because in my head, I once I hear Anoti, I just remember all the plenty iterations, 10, 15 of those, because Emma has a lot of ideas and he made his music by himself. So every time there was always something he wanted to touch or something he wants to make better or something so the song you hear now and you like, the beat is going to change or the verse is going to change. So I've heard different iterations and versions of Anoti until what eventually came out, and it's just beautiful.
Wow.
So how that started was initially, I started out in the business as a promotions guy. So I used to help people plug music on TV and radio and all of that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
You know, Daddy.
That's where I really started, like from CDs.
Yeah.
And there's this guy at Maryland, Bozzaretto. That's where we used to go to burn CDs. And that was like the hub. So when you go to Bozzaretto, you're going to meet somebody
meet people
from the industry. You're going to meet a manager or meet somebody.
Everybody,
just burning CDs. And not now where you can email tracks. You have to go to Rhythm. You have to go to Cool FM. So somehow I had those connections, and so that was what I was doing. So on this day, I had I needed to plug a video at Hip TV. And if you remember, that whole Hip TV is is on Ogundano, is along Allen Avenue.
Yeah.
And around where Hip TV is, Galaxy Television is there as well. So I was going to do my thing, and just as I was crossing the road, I saw MI and this guy, Victor, the Evic. Back in the day, Evic came up with this, sorry, I jump around here.
Yes.
Evic had this innovative promotional thing that he was doing back in the day called Hype Nigeria.
Okay.
Where he would get all the soon to be released songs from all the labels and new artists and put everything on one CD and then take that CD around to everybody. So labels,
before they even hit the market.
Yes. So labels and all these people used to pay him. So it was like a compilation, and then he
Is that not similar? Yeah. Well, not almost playlisting, but
in a way.
Yes, playlisting. Playlisting only happens when the project is done.
Yes.
Think about like the Spotify backend where you have to pitch your song. So they take your song, they put it on a playlist, and the playlist goes live when the music goes live.
When the music goes live. Exactly. So that's like an early stage. That's like an early stage of this thing. And on the other hand, too, the radio stations were actually always expecting those CDs from him. Because you get one CD that has new music and everybody's songs, people from Jos, Abuja, Lagos.
So already you have.
So that was beautiful. So I was trying to get to Hip TV, and I saw MI and Victor at the junction, and I just said, MI! he was surprised because he was new in Lagos at the time. So he was wondering, who knows me in this town? But funny enough, how I knew him was that I was watching LTV8 with my friend, and I saw the video for Crowd Mentality. And I said, okay, that's the guy. So I noted.
I'm going to ask you a question.
I noted the face, but before then, where I first heard of him was, JAJ's top 10, top 7.
Okay.
And I was with my friend, and the song came on, but we weren't really paying attention because the song sounded so good. So it sounded American.
Yeah.
So we're not paying attention. We're just doing our thing. And then JAJ comes on and says, yes, that was a rapper MI from Abuja. I'm like, huh? Are you serious?
So now our guy is local.
And I said to my friend, you know what? This guy, eventually I'm going to work with him. So it's like an attraction thing. And this was like weeks before I ran into him at Galaxy. Well, longer short, we linked up and started working together. And that was like my first client in management, or the first time I really started to understand management deeply. Yeah.
How long did you work with?
About 2 years.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was a ride with him.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful, man, because it's the same thing. The industry is the same. When your success is a maybe, a lot of people don't really support you, because even then in Lagos, I remember would go to certain places and he would rap or they would play his music, and people would be like, man, this guy is really good, but man, it's not going to work.
It's not for here.
It's not going to work. And that's why it's important for you to have an equally mad person close to you.
Like that. Like, we die here.
I
don't care what anybody says.
That just knows that, man, this is going to work.
Yeah.
So that whole, when people don't really support until it is obvious and glaring,
it's been from
that, okay, this is headed somewhere. So it was a beautiful time, and working with him also helped me to hone my talent as an A&R, because I didn't realize that was the role I was playing for the Talk About It album at the time, because I was very young. But years after, I realized, wow, that was the role I played, because we bounce ideas like, who is right for this song? Let's get Pipe. Say, Pipe. Okay, get Pipe. And Ayo Rotimi, Pipe's manager at that time, was like my big bro, so called him, get Pipe in the studio. Oh, well, this song, what do you, YQ. Let's get YQ on this record, and I knew YQ as well, I had those relationships. So, okay, what's happening? YQ, pull up. and we made all of that. And there were also low moments where he wasn't sure, like he would turn and say, "Man, is this thing going to work?" And I said, "Man, it's going to work. You are unique."
I've always known you to be that guy that even when it is tough and it's spinning and almost glaring that this thing is going to crash, you have a way of those danger,
like, bro, it's going to work. And that time it was really just about, should I keep doing my thing or should I switch it up a bit and make it? And I'm like, look, people love you because you're unique. So are you going to throw away that uniqueness to now be like everybody? No, let us do this. This is going to work. So it was a learning project for me across board, from promotions to all of that. I remember we did the promotions for Safe with 70,000 naira. How crazy things have gotten
What would
now.
70k be in today's
I don't know.
That was ridiculous. 70k.
70k. And right now, even with 7M, it's like you're still crawling, so it was beautiful. It was a good one.
Wow, there's a question I asked Larry Lawal during the last episode, episodes. Do you have this accessible to people? Like, is it public knowledge that you were there? Talk about your album, A&R and the album. Is it public knowledge? Because again, you're one of those guys that people can easily walk by and not recognize that these guys did it. These guys played the game earlier on.
Yeah.
These guys took CDs from station to station. Like these guys were like the real working guys. They were the internet. Like you guys were like the connection. Like you guys had to go kill to burn CDs. Like, bro, because public knowledge.
Even as far as the internet at that time, when you wanted to promote, it was basically just Facebook. And we used Facebook notes a lot, where people write short articles and try to promote something.
Facebook notes.
Facebook notes and My True Spot. My True Spot came before Not Just Okay. So I think it was through My True Spot that, other people started to say, maybe, and then there was Not Just Okay and there was Jaguda. But you could also notice that most of the early Nigerian music blogs were started by people who were Nigerians based outside. So maybe they had better exposure to things, internet and everything, so My True Spot, Ike Orizu, American, Nigerian,
Not Just Okay.
Yeah, Not Just Okay, Ovian,
I don't know.
American guy, Jaguda, Obikili, this guy is, America too, and so many other small blogs popping up at the time. So to your question, people do not really know. And sometimes I wonder, is that a flaw on my character? Because I do a poor job of tooting my horn. But also part of why I don't feel pressure to do that is because I'm going to be here. If you open the door of the industry in 20 years and I'm alive, you see me. So I feel like there's more than enough time for the truth to come to the fore. So yeah, I'm just not.
And I think that, and this is my own. I hope that this doesn't get taken out of context. So I'll say regardless. I think that artists or talents do a poor job at talking about the people grinded with them and people that are currently grinding with them. So you sit an artist down in a podcast or an interview and stuff and ask them about their career, There's a way they just brush up, my management.
Sometimes they don't mention it. They just
sometimes
say, we did this, drop this,
and then
somebody was with
God,
you every step of the way.
And yes, of course, all glory to God. But brother, you can do more.
You had people
because
by your
when
side.
the manager is put in the spotlight, It's basically talking about you.
Definitely.
And I guess that is what has birthed the idea of managers trying to now be celebrities now. You know, managers too wants to put on the blames. They want to, because bro, if you're not going to talk about me, I'm going to talk about
I
myself.
have to talk
I will
about
do a
myself.
wiki page. I will pay
I
for
have
PR.
to talk
I'll do all
about
that stuff. And
I'll get a cinematographer.
do you
They'll
get-
follow me
yeah,
around. We'll
yeah.
chop up nice clips. We'll post it
Yeah,
up. You know, do the
so-
lifestyle and the music
and
business.
now a lot of people are now beginning to, like, maybe even talents are beginning to like revolt. You know, you're not the celebrity, it's me, and I get that, but you're doing a poor job at talking about these guys, right? I mean, all respect to MI, I love him so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
I still do, like, bruh. Funny enough, his mutuals with someone that is senior, you know, whatever. But
Oh, nice.
I don't know if he has done it, and I don't know if he will open to do it. If he's open to doing it, if he was asked to talk about his journey, would he at any point say, "Ah, I remember Agwu, you know, we're crossing and
I don't know.
you get it. So we don't get a lot of that. And
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why. I honestly I don't know why. So let's not
Yeah.
dig deep into that. I've come to the realization that shout out to Godwin Tom for what he's doing with NBA. That's massive.
It is.
Really, really massive. Because one thing that I've noticed across board, but from talking to people personally and even having people here, people that play this role, is there is no place or spot to go to learn music business in the Nigerian / African context. And I'm saying because I was able to relate to what you said when you were downloading contracts and stuff like that, and you were like, I didn't hear these things, Nashville, that about, bro, yeah. I did music business at Berkeley online, and I finished the course. I thought I was ready for the industry. I started a label, you know, and all that. And I figured out that, bruh,
Our way is different.
you know the work.
Our way is different.
Like, yo, I did music business. I did music law.
Wow.
I'm not the lawyer, but I have a certification in music law.
Yo, that's deep.
I went, like, bro, I could see a contract and, in fact, yeah, bro, but then I figured out, nah, the label failed. Everything failed. The artist I was trying, everything failed. Then one day, I think my wife just sent me an Instagram post. It was Godwin Tom, MBA in partnership with British Council, trying to do stuff. And, you know, I applied, I got in, and I started to, oh, no wonder. Like, the terrain is different. And that was basically what changed the course of my life to say, okay. So, yeah, shout out to Godwin Tom. For
Big shout out.
yeah.
Big shout out.
And
Because, you know, when people talk about, some weeks ago, one of Nigeria's top writers on Twitter talked about how, you know, the industry is declining and things are not going so right and all of that. I hear him, I get it. But there are also so many other areas of the industry that we do not really pay attention to because these people are not in front of a camera.
Yeah.
One of the great wins of Nigeria's music resurgence in the last few years is that even if, which is not possible, but if this music were to dry up, Nigerian executives are going to be global, are going to work for the biggest companies,
Yes.
are going to hold.
They already do.
Exactly.
already
You know, so you don't think about that, but it's also part of this growth. Yes, the artists
talk
are
about
making money.
structure.
Exactly.
This is
But there are also more opportunities for these people.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, we're everywhere, man, from the UK to the US,
Yeah.
like even locally sourced executives
Yeah.
who the head companies saw and they're like,
Yeah,
wow, you're so
yeah,
good. Why are
yeah.
you in Lagos? Yeah,
Yeah,
come to the UK.
yeah.
You know, so from the distros to the labels
Yeah.
to all these other companies
Yeah.
and what the executives are learning and how they're also applying themselves.
Yeah.
That is a huge win.
It's a huge win.
It's not, it won't be weird that in 15 years time, a Nigerian, an indigenous Nigerian is the CEO of Universal.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because once you get into the pipeline, you're in the pipeline.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, We are in the pipeline.
And we are known for struggling with our getting stuff done.
Going all the way, so
You talked about, local execs working for international companies and stuff. And I know at some point in your career you worked for an international distribution company.
Yes, Horus Music.
Horus Music. How did that go?
That was beautiful. I had left my job at BoomPlay, where I was an artist relations manager. And I was pretty much headhunted. Somebody reached out and said, "Hey, these guys are looking for somebody and feels like you're the ideal guy." I said, "Okay, yeah, let's talk. Let's have a meeting." So that was really good too.
So you sat down with the international.
Part of the dividends of.
What are we talking about? That's good. You play a very dynamic, very, very crucial role. Like you've played the role of a manager, A&R, and you see those two jobs, I think they are the major definer of an artist's career in a sense. Right?
Absolutely.
How do you spot talents? How do you just listen and see someone and say, there's something here?
Well, first of all, I'm a music guy.
Okay.
So for me, the music has to hit me first.
Okay.
Like, I need to just listen to it and be like, who is this? And part of being an A&R is believing in your taste, believing in what you like and what you don't like. And when I feel like, wow, this is amazing, I really, really think that if I like this, perhaps it's 5,000 other people in the world who are going to like it like this. And I just go with that. But after that stage, because you haven't signed the person yet, or you're not working with them yet.
Yeah.
But really, the more you do stuff, your hands get burned. You learn. Naturally, I'm the kind of guy who hears somebody and I think the music is great, the talent is on point, and I want to jump in. But after years of doing this and working with different people, you realize more is needed. So these days I really look for momentum. And momentum to me is, I want to see what you are doing with the 2 kobo that you have right now. I know you don't have much. I know you don't have the connections. I know you don't have the budget. I know you don't have. But for the little that is available to you, what are you doing with that? So, and inside that, you see resilience, you see dedication, you see, just seriousness and a willingness to learn and be teachable. Because it's important, especially at those early stages. A manager or A&R can sort of be like a coach, so you don't want to be in business with somebody who doesn't listen or who isn't open to collaboration or hearing ideas. So for me, yes, I mean, what makes me want to probe deeper is that I hear something special. So I guess number one has to be, sound, unique sound, unique perspective, unique vocal tone, something like that. But it definitely has to be something that I hear. And then, but after that, yes, I like the song. Who are you? How do you do this thing? Are you serious? Are you ready? Are you open to learning, to growing? All of that. And when this other side is lacking, man, even if the music is Michael Jackson good, I'll definitely be reluctant to go in. Yeah.
I see. Interesting. So going back a little bit, after MI, can you just maybe list some of the artists you know? You don't have to tell me.
Nine.
Race, directly or indirectly?
Yeah, Race. Race. Baby role. Yeah, Race. So Eva Lodia.
Oh, interesting.
Morel. He's still doing music. He's like the northern guy right now. It's actually a long list, so I find that sometimes I don't remember. But of course, there's Timmy Dakolo, there's Cobhams.
I think you'll mention like that.
No, no, but it's so many. I mean, even years ago, I worked with my brother from ATL Kelechief. Yeah, man, it's a long list. I really struggle with that question because I find that I don't even remember. Yeah, but yeah.
Fun fact.
Fun fact
Fun fact.
about.
You left somebody else.
Oh, definitely. Oh, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And the amazing Dottie the Deity, of course. And please permit me to, since we're talking about A&R management and all of that, how I got to know Dottie. So my brother used to work for a company called Just Play. And he kept telling me, man, there's this new guy we hired. He really knows music, and he curates really beautiful playlists. And I'm like, oh, wow. Because, I mean, when I hear that somebody is a music person, I'm really interested. I say, he said, yeah, so I'll connect you guys just somehow. So December came, December 2020, and he sent me a link and said, that guy I told you about, he just curated a Christmas playlist for us. And I'm here. So I said, oh, yeah, cool. So I was listening. I wasn't looking at the whole thing. I was listening, and this song came on, and I picked up my phone. I saw Jolly Christmas. I'm like, wow, who is this? So that's back to that reaction that I just described.
Because you've listened to many other songs.
Exactly.
What's this particular
Exactly. So I really need to be like, ooh, what is this? And then I was like, wow, who is this guy? Dottie the Date. Okay, interesting. So I went to Spotify, I saw some other songs, and then I went to YouTube and I saw that he had won this music show. And funny enough, I was managing Cobams at the time, and we were contracted. Cobams was performed at the opening event of the show.
Yeah.
But it was COVID year. If you remember, the show wasn't big on TV.
Yes.
A lot of people missed it. A lot of people didn't know. Yeah. So me too. So it was when I went on YouTube, I started to see, wow, every performance on this show, this guy is just head and shoulders above everybody. Then I said, okay, let me go DM him on Instagram. And I went to Instagram and saw that he already messaged me. I was like, oh, okay, perfect. That was like kind of how we started, So in a way you can say Ayomide is an A&R, but he works for a music company. And just in understanding music and doing his work properly, he made me discover Dottie. So it's like a chain of, so yeah, but.
Yeah. Interesting story. And a few years down the line, he's sitting right across.
And you've done amazing, man. You've totally done amazing.
I mean, I picked it up from where
you've totally done amazing.
You've
totally done amazing.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic talent.
No,
I'm proud of him.
Dottie's going to get his flowers.
Absolutely. Dottie is that kind of talent that I like, where I know that as long as you have working speakers and working microphones and people are gathered, if you give this guy your microphone, there will be a problem. So Dottie is that kind of artist who has mastered his art. So yes, artist development on fleek from the church and all of that. So he's the guy.
Obinna, tell us what do you do now? Do you work for any of these companies at the moment?
No, I don't. No, I set up my own company, TGH Music, and distribution. Yeah, mostly. TGH stands for Two Good Heads. Yeah.
Two Good Heads. Yeah. Your company, and.
Yeah, yes, but also me and my brother. But the name really highlights the importance of collaboration. Yeah, so TGH Music, and then we're really focused on working with emerging acts because they're the future. We already know Timaya, we already know Davido, we already know Rema, but the person that will be troublesome next year or next 2 years, we don't know. but we know where they are though, you know. And
this is where your experience as an A&R comes into play.
definitely, definitely,
Catching
definitely, and supporting them early is, you know, through that whole process. I really like small shows. You know,
shows.
I really like small shows. Yeah, a hotel is fine, and all these other big venues, yes, they are fine. But I really like the Bogobiri. I really like Indie Nightlife. I like Kerry and Cam, or just a small artist doing a small showcase, them and their friends, because that is where the magic is.
Actually,
That is where the magic is. So yes, I like the flashy shows with the big red carpet and all of that. But I also like, I really, really like those small shows where, you know, we're all just music lovers, just vibing and supporting a new guy. Yeah, I really like that.
Nice. For you to be an exceptional A&R,
Yeah.
how much music should you consume? I know there are other parts of being a good A&R, but how much music do you think one should consume?
I think that is the very foundation, that is the very bed of everything. First of all, your love for music, your obsession for music almost, and just how you perceive it. So I think it's almost impossible for you to be a great A&R if you do not consume a lot of music, you know, and at this stage in my career, you listen for different reasons. Sometimes you're listening to demos, you know, and the demo might not blow you away, but it's all important because sometimes these things help you to crystallize what you like, what you don't like, what you do better, what you change, all of that, even though you might not give that feedback to the person. But, you know, it's not entirely a waste of time when you listen to demos that you're not feeling, you know, and also you need to stay abreast of the sound and the soundscape, you know. So every Friday I'm on New Music Friday, you know, just to see what everybody is doing. And like I said, sometimes for me, New Music Friday shows me the music not to make.
I love that.
You know, yeah, so I use it in different ways, but ultimately I always just go back to listen to the music that I really love, the songs that made me love music, the songs that make me continue to fall in love with music, because that is what really, you know, fuels all of this. So I think as an A&R, I mean, if you don't listen to a lot of music, I don't know, man. Come on.
Interesting.
You're fake. No, honestly.
Because bro, a lot of people are posting out there as A&R, bro, A&R.
So many, so many. And even sometimes I am on Twitter, social media, and I see young execs being rude when they want to give feedback, or someone tweets at them and says, please check out my music, or they don't respond, or they say, you know, and I'm just like, do these people realize the opportunity that this is, that people even consider you important enough to listen to their work before it goes out? And for me, it gets overwhelming sometimes because, man, every other day somebody is trying to get me to listen to stuff. But I also remind myself that, you know, these are the days we prayed for. At some point, I really wanted to just be this person that you can say, oh, listen to what I'm doing. So I listen to a lot of demos, a lot of unreleased stuff, give feedback as kindly as I can. But of course, there are also times when, for some reason, you're not able to get to certain songs. I'll give you one story that doesn't really add anything, but I'll tell you all the same. So when Big Brother, some years ago, Big Brother Nigeria was happening, and one of the housemates, Lekon, and I went on Twitter and I noticed, this housemate is following me. And I know usually when an artist is following me, they sent me a message. So I followed back and I checked my DM, and boy, the link to his EP was there and everything, and I was like, oh my God. And when someone wins something like that, that's not the time to hit them up. What kind of person are you? It's like, but thankfully we've since gone ahead to build a good relationship. So just basically be thankful that you're here. Be thankful that people want to share their music with you. Don't get tired. Especially because the people who are going to scatter the game in the next few years are not on the scene now, and you need to put yourself in a place where you can at least find them or meet them early. Yeah.
You're such a positive guy. Like things that people would ordinarily see and think what jumps at you immediately is negative. What jumps at you immediately is you're disturbing me. Like, bro, you're telling me that you should be grateful that they find you worthy. You're such a positive guy, bro. Like,
Absolutely.
I think that's something people should actually like learn from.
Yeah, it's also for the A&R part of it. It's also ultimately your brand is what people think of you. So I have put out myself so much as a music guy that people really want to share music with me, or when they hear something good, And I'm proud of the fact that over the last 10 years, man, a lot of the people who have gotten on the scene are people I've heard about or known much, like years ago, I remember it was about 5 a.m. Someone DMs me, he's my friend, Cyrus the Virus, DMs me and says, man, there's this girl in Covenant University. I think she just made this EP in her room. It's called the Restless EP. It's beautiful. You need to check it out. That'll see me. I went, I checked it out. Amazing music. And we just started talking about her on the TL, like, yo, restless EP. And back in the day, Uncle Steve Babeko used to be fairly active on Twitter. So I'm sure in some way the noise we made about all of that was part of what made him know see me, and eventually that deal happens. So these are the subtle ways that yeah.
They're not going in the industry, and funny enough, you find that people that make the loudest noise are not actually the one moving things. And I think that I'm hoping that that's what this podcast comes to represent eventually. Platform people that are really doing stuff, and not to say that these people talking a lot are not doing stuff, but somebody cooked that food before you went to the pot to serve.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, and those are the kind of people that are looking for.
Yeah, I mean, but also the older I get, the less, the more respect, not like a good kind of respect, but the more shady kind of respect I have for PR. Because you grow up and you realize, wow, so if you know somebody at Forbes, they can do a story on you, even if you're not that guy. So I'm thinking, how many brilliant, beautiful, shiny stories have I read in my life that are not really, and today in the industry, we see that happening as well. I mean, even people who have platforms platform their friends. It's not that you see these 40 under 40, 30 under 40, and you're looking at some names and you're like, okay. Well, maybe I don't know these people. What? So I find that for some people, PR really just takes the fall. So let's just make noise about and then from that we get.
And that doesn't mean that PR is a bad thing.
Yeah.
I just think that
is a tool of deception.
It's a tool. No, I know. I think
no, it can be.
Yeah, I think it's a tool.
It can
what
be.
you do with it. Of course, we need PR.
Yeah.
Right? Because as an artist manager, you'd want PR for your artist.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just one song in, you want PR. So it's good, right? But the way you use it is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's what makes sense. And I also think that response to that should be that people who are actually doing things should try at least to, invest in PR. And when I mean invest, I mean you're not doing it for clout. You're doing it for austerity. You're doing it for the younger ones.
Yeah.
Because trust me, if not for the fact that my headspace and my value, the way I think, aligns with a lot of the OGs, the way the OGs operate and what they do, I'm just one small guy that could probably just walk past you and have no idea of who you are.
But you get doing so.
I'm just going to walk past you and have no idea who you are. And it's not because it's not my fault. And I'm not saying it's your fault. But you get what I mean, right? Yeah. But I also know that we don't search for knowledge. So that's the thing. So thank you so much for coming. We have a game, and it's called the Grit Game.
Okay.
And it's all about grit and hustle.
Yeah.
Grit is synonymous to hustle.
Yeah.
So it's basically talking about your hustle, right? So if you were not who you are today, if you're not doing what you do today, what would have been the thing, your kind of thing that you have done? And it has to be something outside your current industry.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give 3 answers. First, funny enough, sometimes I feel like I can be funny. I could have done comedy, stand-up comedy, because Deji, it's crazy, man. Just like I have song ideas, sometimes so much crazy things happen in Nigeria, and it's like I have ideas of jokes and stuff. So, and of course, there's also that part where you have to engage with the audience, which is also kind of like not very different from music as well. So, but the second one, advertising. Yes, for the longest time I was obsessed with copywriting, and just advertising, and I love the ideas and the creativity and all of that. So I definitely see myself being in that space. Third one, this one is not so conventional. I don't know if there's one name, but I would have loved to sell premium liquor. Yeah, I think I could have totally done that, sell premium liquor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Funny enough, what is it? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this, man.
Really appreciate it.
We appreciate you too. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. So that's a wrap.